Growing up with King, it was like having like a hero for a brother. You know, he's 6 years older than me. So anytime I got into it, getting chased by any Mexicans or something like that, I go get my big brother. And it was like Power Rangers versus the Putties, you know what I mean? Like, you know, Ninja Turtles versus the Foot. My brother always came to my rescue.
Knowing King for as long as I've known him, you know, his music's always been genuine and real to me because I watched him go through what's in his music. His music has evolved as his life has evolved.
What I remember is I was driving down Savior's Road in Oxnard, and I had just picked up an ounce of crack cocaine, and I had it in my pocket. A friend of mine called me to stop somewhere, so I pulled up to the place where she told me to stop, and it was a setup.
I was crushed, I was devastated, and I was in a state of panic because I didn't know what to expect. I couldn't believe that he was in trouble for the charges that were stated.
When I heard that, you know, he was going to jail, it was like one of those kids that you see on the court or on the football field that you're like, man, if this kid gets his opportunity, he's going to be special, you know, and that was the same thing that, you know, I always felt about King. And when I heard about that, you know, it hurt me because I knew the potential he had, and I didn't know how that was going to hurt his career.
I served 2 years in between Wasco and Taft CCF. It was an experience. I had never seen nothing like it. There were fights 3 and 4 times a day. The thing that tripped me out most about being in prison is I had never experienced being in a place where you had a black toilet, Mexican toilet, white toilet. At one time, when I was in county fighting my case, I couldn't afford like a notebook because, you know, a lot of people walked out on me, and it was a time where I couldn't afford a notebook. So I learned how to, you know, write raps in my head and remember them. I don't know how I did it, but I did it, and I'd make a beat on the table and spit a rap, 3 minutes, just straight rapping, 3-4 minutes straight rapping. People would come up to me, they dropping sack lunches off, they're dropping noodles off. They're like, dude, like, can you do this next week? Like, yeah, same time next week, we gonna order a pizza, or we gonna do this, or we gonna do that. That's when I realized that I could actually get it rapping in prison too, you know.
You know, and I know lots of guys that get locked down and they go in there and they learn a trade while they're in there. You know what I'm saying? Something else they could possibly benefit their family financially when they get out. I mean, I'm all about learning. I want to learn something every day. So I'm constantly encouraging people to do so.
You know, when he got out, it was the same time I moved back from Florida. He was just hungry. You know, you see something different in his drive, that he was more hungry, and then he was more mature at the same time, you know, probably from what he had been through when he was on the inside. And you can see that his motivation was different. You know, his kids were getting older, and a lot of the things that he would rap about back then, the things that he was doing, it wasn't really in his music. His music turned to more of a positive influence of, he would speak about where he's been, but he would talk about at that point where he was headed.
We all tied in, man. You know what I'm saying? King is our family, man. You know what I'm saying? And we did a song. He busted. You remember where he at, man? Yeah, on MJ, on the song MJ, he busted, man. You know what I'm saying? He busted. You know what I'm saying? That's what he do. And that's what we have in common, man. We MCs, bro.
There's not one way you could trick the system or you can get away with anything. There's no way. You had mobsters that were millionaires, or you had, you know, dope dealers that are billionaires, you know, and these people either got killed or went to jail, prison for a very long time. So there's absolutely no way you can beat the system. So if you do have any type of motivation in you to stay out, Just give that 100%. Don't make it 50-50. Give it 100%. And 100% of the time you'll stay out.